Yeah. Yeah. Oh, this just has the right feel to it for a European race.
That's right. That's right. We're getting in the Chamonix mood here.
Yeah, man. I feel like this is something you hear in the club, and like the weird Alps club bumping at 3 in the morning. You know?
Yeah. Good call. Here it is.
Yeah. There you go. Yeah. Yeah. That's 100%. It's 100%. Like, it also reminds me of the little kid that was going viral dancing in the full little ski suit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It has that same genre for me. You know what I mean? It just has that same vibe. But anywho, yeah, got to get going proper when we're coming in to talk about UTMB.
That's right. And what a weekend it was, and a whole week really. We can dive right into that.
Yeah. I mean, we have probably a solid hour, 20-minute worth of stuff to get into today with all this stuff.
We do have quite an agenda. Yeah, so let's start with the TDS race. Okay, this is I think this race kind of is one of the first races of the week, and this is one that is kind of takes a back seat sort of to the OCC, which is the 50K, the CCC, which is the 100K, and then of course UTMB, the 100 miler. TDS kind of takes a back seat. It's just a little different kind of race. It's 92 miles and 30,500 feet of climbing, so no joke. And this one is very technical. It's on remote rocky trails. It's more technical than the other races. And this race is someone a few years ago, if you remember, someone died at the TDS race. Unfortunately,
it's weird that it gets less play because unless I'm just absolutely reading something wrong, it is easily the hardest of the 4 races.
Oh yeah, I think so.
It is. I mean, it's 92 miles with 30,500 feet of climb. So you're going what? Why am I?
You're on about 300. It's about 300 feet. 300 feet a mile.
Yeah, versus the 109 miles for 32,500 feet of climb. Right, it's an MFer, man.
It's packed, and then the thing that makes it the most difficult is just the technicality, and so it's an interesting race for sure. And in the women's race, Maria Dohin from France was first, 24 hours and 6 minutes. And Ariane Wilhelms from Switzerland in 24 hours and 42 minutes was second. And Celine Finesse from France, 25 hours, 41 minutes to round out the podium. Those are some pretty stellar times for the way that course sounds. There's the second place woman, Ariane Wilhelm. In the men's race, looks like we had Thibodeau Marquet from France. France had a really strong showing, no surprise, in all the races this year. First place in 18 hours and 59 minutes, just crushed it.
I mean, the French took the top 5 in the TDS for men.
Yep. Albin Bernsen, France, 19 hours, 56 minutes for second. Gautier Arayu, I probably pronounced that wrong, 20 hours, 7 minutes for third to round out the podium. I don't know if that's, I wonder what the records are on that.
I feel like Aru, think he also ran Hard Rock. Like I feel like I remember his name being one of the guys to watch. The other thing that's so not only did the French take the top 5 in the men's, but like Jamie said, they had a pretty good showing in the women's. The only American to crack top 10 in the men's and the women's. Only one American cracked the top 10 in men's and women's. And it was Jason Schlarb took 9th in the men's.
Yep.
So.
That's right. Yep. That's the only American. I saw a funny, maybe you sent this to me. It was something about how the French, they keep like 6 months out of the year, and 3 months out of the year they just come out and dominate.
Beat the shit out. Yeah, just like out skiing and like just getting after it, having like skiing up and down the slopes and like just having a good time, and then just absolutely I just destroy the courses when it comes around. So yeah, man, they dominated TDS.
Yep. And then the next race that we're going to look at is their quote unquote 50K, but it's really more like 57K. It's about 35 miles with 11,500 feet of climb. So that's no cupcake of a 50K.
Yeah.
Man. That's difficult. That's and if we do have, I know we do have a little spattering of international listeners. So that's 3,500 meters.
Yeah.
For our international. And the TDS was 9,300 or 9,300 meters. But OCC, the 57K is 3,500 meters. I guess they activated the hot weather kits for this one. Since the race isn't going, it starts at 8:15 a.m. So it's not, I don't know how long they have to do it. I would imagine that the cutoff is pretty generous for 11,500 feet of climb. But,
I mean, I would hope.
Well, I can't see it going that far into the night, so they probably don't need the cold weather gear.
Let's see something here. But the good news, while you looked at the good news about this is we did good news. A American did win this one.
That's right. In fact, it was the first American to win OCC, Eli Hemming, at least for the men. But according to Iron Far, he was the first American to win OCC, and he did it in 5 hours 11 minutes. And so he just smoked it. And Francesco Pupi, we've seen his name quite a few times. Italy, 5 hours 14 minutes, second place. Antonio Martinez from Spain, third, 5 hours 17 for the men.
All right, I kind of can't believe this is right, but I'm just going to tell you on a note of how long they have to finish this. First off, it blows my mind. It would appear that the OCC, right? If by any wild chance, do you know how many people I believe finished OCC?
Well, I know 1,800 runners started the race from 90 different countries.
All right. 1,000. Wait, how many?
1,800 runners from 90 different countries.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. I'm sorry, I misread something. 1,530 finished.
Nice. That's pretty good.
Dude, the DFL, the DFL was a person from Thailand. Woman. There's a woman from Thailand. This is a 50K. 14 hours, 47 minutes, and 37 seconds.
Nice.
Yo, what the on a 50K, bro.
It must be a 15-hour cutoff then.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
it's hard.
You could probably hike it. I mean, you're going to be doing a lot of hiking in that race anyways, just because of the amount of climbing. But hold on a second. What was her time again? 14 hours.
14 hours, 47 minutes, and 47, 37.
Okay. And she ran 57 kilometers.
AKA 35 miles.
So that's a 25-minute mile.
Well, did you convert the kilometers over to miles?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And you said it's what?
What did I say? It's 35 miles. Just
35 miles.
To make it official. Yeah, it's 25-minute miles. So almost 2 an hour, a little less than 2 an hour.
Yeah. Yeah. Dang, dude.
Yeah. No, I mean, 11,500 feet of climbing is no joke. So,
dude, yeah. And this isn't, you and I have talked about this. This isn't like, I'm going to climb, but don't worry, I'll make it up on the backside. I mean, some, but you're not bombing that backside. You're
probably not.
You're 100% eating shit if you do. You know what I mean?
It's going to be some steep downhills.
Yeah,
for sure.
Rocks, big, huge rocks for sure. Yeah. Anyways, there you go. So
but that's a pretty generous cutoff anyway.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
And in the women's race, let's see, we had Miao Yao from China, 5 hours 54 minutes, first place for women. Judith Weider, Switzerland, 6 hours, and Clementine Joffre from France, 6 hours and 2 minutes. So second and third place were just 2 minutes apart. And first place was only 6 minutes faster than second. So
yeah.
Yeah. Pretty interesting.
Had a second American. There's an American finish in the top 10 for the women. We had Danny Marino come in at 6.
Yeah, Danny Marino. Cool. And she was 6 hours and 6 minutes. So really only, less, like maybe 21 minutes behind the leader.
Yeah.
And only 4 minutes off the podium.
Yeah, I mean, she came in. The wild thing is, the way we keep describing how close she was. Not only was she only 4 minutes away from the podium, she was just a scooch over, a minute and a half behind fourth place.
Yeah,
there was just chunks of people.
Yeah,
running that one.
That was a tight pack into the finish. Yeah, no, good race. That would be one that would be cool to do if you were going over there anyways, because you're not killing yourself for the 48 or 46 hours of UTMB. And then, you could do that race and still enjoy your vacation without being all messed up. All right. So I don't think there was anything too crazy that happened during the race. Pretty straightforward. So let's jump into CCC, which is the 100K. And this is a good one.
This is super cool. This is so cool.
So obvious great story here is that Hayden Hawks just put on a clinic.
Yeah.
And this isn't the first time that he's won CCC. He won in, was it 2017? He won CCC, and he's getting over an injury, and he feels that he's completely back this year, and it's showing. I mean, he got third, almost got second at Western States. He won Black Canyon. He's really in his element. He's really in his zone right now.
And he's not a young dude.
No, I think he's late 30s, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, I was kind of funny. I thought he's even a scooch older than that. but I could definitely be wrong about that. I like it's just a scooch order now.
Let's see. Hayden.
But while he looks up Hayden Hawks, so like we're talking about, he won the men's, right?
Oh, he's only 33.
Oh, is he? Oh, so he's a lot younger. I was making him out to be an old dude. I was
he jumped into the sport when he was young. Like there's a video of him in the north when they used to have the North Face 50 here.
Yeah.
Battling out with Miller, Zach Miller.
Okay.
Over in like the Mount Tam area, like they're just dueling on this trail. It's so cool, but
that is cool.
And that was quite a while ago. So yeah, he got in when he was young. But sorry, I didn't mean to.
Oh no, but I was going to say for the CCC for the 100K, I had Hayden win it, right? Peter Frano came in second. He's from Slovakia. I'm not familiar with him. He's new to me. But then we have another American, Adam Peterman, coming in at 10:28. So we have two on the podium for the Americans, and then just to also this is kind of a cool one. Dakota Jones sneaks in at 9th out of the top 10. So I mean, not a bad showing for the American guys. 3 in the top 10, 2 in the top 3. So
no, the CCC was definitely the best showing for the American men.
Yeah.
And Daniel Jones from New Zealand, he's also having a pretty good year. He got 4th.
Yeah, we've talked about him a couple times. And so then we jump over to the women's side of the CCC. Tony McCann from South Africa, living up in France.
She put on a clinic.
Yeah, she came in at just a scooch under 12 with 11:57. And then I'm not familiar with either one of the other two women. Martina, and I'm not even going to try to pronounce that name.
Malarchik.
Yeah. And then Rosanna Bacher, maybe. This is one I need my German friends on.
Bacher probably sounds about right.
Yeah.
12 hours 16.
Yeah, we have Lottie Brinks. Do you know? I don't. And again, I don't.
I've heard her name. Yeah.
Oh wait, no, we had two. We had two women.
Heather Jackson, who had a good showing at Black Canyon this year.
I'm missing all kinds of shit. There's 3 women. There's 3 women in the top 10 for the U.S.
Yeah.
Heather Jackson, Lottie Brinks, and Emelise von Avis. Oh, that's kind of cool. Yeah, for some reason I missed that. And only because we were talking about it on the OCC about who is DFL. I feel like, and correct me if I'm wrong, I feel like the CCC must have less like per mile climbing than the OCC maybe, because the CCC, your DFL is a guy from France. I'm sorry, a woman from France who finished it in 27, 28, 27. So I'm assuming it's a 30-hour cutoff for the 100K. But she knocked it out in 27, 28, which, for a 100K, not wild.
There's still 317 feet of climbing per mile. So it's 62.7 miles. It's like 101K.
Yeah.
19,888 feet of climbing. So it's actually, it's pretty much on par, I think, but it's a shorter distance than the 109 miles. So
yeah, for sure. But I mean, to knock
that's
that
over
out,
6,000 meters for our international listeners.
It's not a bad run.
And let's see if there was any story. So when I tuned in Saturday morning to the live stream, it was getting towards the end of CCC, and watching Hayden go up that last climb was pretty awesome. And then he just like cruised down to the finish. But I say Adam Peterman and the second place guy, Peter Frano from Slovakia, they were definitely moving in that last part, and Peterman almost caught him. So it was and those are all humble guys like Peterman and Hayden Hawks. They trained. I think they trained together. They talked a lot because they were both injured at the same time. It was good to see Peterman coming back from injury to get third at CCC. Yeah, no, it was an exciting race. And moving on to the main course, UTMB, that's 109 miles, 32,500 feet of climbing. That's 10,000 meters. And we had epic finish. Katie Scheid just dominated, and she lives in France, but she is American, so we can claim her.
Half credit. Take half credit.
Yeah. She led wire to wire. She just put on a clinic. She beat Courtney DeWalter's record by more than 20 minutes.
Yeah, 21 and change. Yeah,
that's right. Yeah, I was watching the live stream of Katie, and she was just, she was in the lead pack of the men, and it's amazing. Like, she never looked tired. She just is just steady, and it's just really impressive. She's definitely making a push for Ultra Runner of the Year. I mean, Courtney has some very big wins. At the Mount Fuji and I think Transvolcania. She has some huge wins, Courtney does. But Katie is one, now did the double, Western States UTMB. And set the record at UTMB. So it should be interesting to see what happens there.
I don't know. I mean, just my 2 cents that don't mean shit. I don't know how Katie doesn't get, woman runner of the year at this point. I mean, like you said, Courtney's has some monster wins, but it's, I mean, you got
Hard Rock.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. It's gonna be close.
Let's not forget who we made picks.
That's right.
Give Jamie some credit here. Jamie called Katie Scheid winning it, and then not quite in the right order, but he had Ruth Croft on the podium.
I had her in third, but
third she took second, and then Shing I only see in the top 20. I'm not sure what happened to her, and then still to give you some credit, your wild card was Alyssa Clark.
That's right.
And she ended up in the 11th. American coming in the 11th. And so then when we look at my folks, I had Blandine first, and crap, I don't see her at all in the top 20. I had Mayora on the podium. Again, I don't see her in the top 20.
Wait, Blandine got 5th.
Oh, I scrolled down the last names. Yeah. So 5th, all right. Mayora, not in the top 20. And then Banworth I had on the podium, and she came in 18th. So, and then
who's your wild card?
Lindsay Dwyer. Yeah. And then she, again, not in the top 20. So
we kind of already talked about the women's race. Katie led wire to wire. I think the rest of the pack was kind of close together. And who got second place? We have Ruth Croft, 22 hours and 48 minutes. Katie finished 22 hours 9 minutes in first. Marianne Hogan, who's Canadian living in France, got third, 23 hours 11 minutes. Oh, and by the way, Marianne Hogan fell and broke her finger during UTMB. So, and she still got third. And turns out that in last year, 2022, or not last year, but the year before, 2022, she had a torn psoas.
Golly days.
And got second. So she is tough.
Yeah.
All the credit to Marianne.
And like the wild thing is like you're talking about like a broken finger, so you're like, oh, it's a finger. What's that got to do with running? That bouncing, like if you've ever really dislocated it, man, even that still is like every jolt. You know what I mean? Like every single time.
Yeah, I mean, just the feeling of it.
Yeah.
You know, you trying to do anything like open a gel or
just constant.
Use your if you're using trekking poles.
Oh, that would suck.
Oh, by the way, everybody uses poles at UTMB, but you know who didn't use poles? Hayden Hawks in CCC. He didn't use poles.
Oh man, that's freaky strong. That is freaky strong.
So in the men's race, let's talk about the men's race.
I hate to admit that I was right about something on the men's race.
That's right, you were.
I hate to admit it, but
Walmsley, he went out. I didn't know he had a knee injury, but apparently he did, and he went out. I think he was leading for a while. I'm pretty sure, and about halfway, Walmsley dropped. And Walmsley wasn't the only drop. There was quite a few notable drops. You know, I picked Aurelian for first.
Plus.
And he dropped.
Yep, you and I both have plus.
I picked Walmsley for second. He dropped.
How
Ludo got fifth. So,
Ludo.
And I had him in third.
How'd my guy Mr. Shin come in? I had Shin in second.
Ji-Shang Shen.
Yeah, I don't see him at all in the top 20.
That's because he dropped too.
And then my number 3 guy I went with the old man, and I went with Haras. And I'm not seeing anything good about him in the top 20 either.
Yeah.
So,
and you know who else dropped? Tom Evans, Matthew Blanchard, Tim Tolfson. And Tim Tolfson was in second for a minute.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Lots of drops. Maybe it was hot weather. I don't really know. So anyway, Walmsley was the favorite to win, and he dropped halfway. He said he's been struggling to shake a knee injury since Western States.
I feel your brother.
Give himself a chance.
I feel your brother. I've been shaking a quad injury for.
Yeah.
Oh shit! Oh man.
Long time, and then you just decide to do a little shuffle in the park, and after not running for 2 months, and then blow it out again.
What a dumb shit! What an idiot! While the wife's like, I may tell the doctor.
She's gonna rat you out.
Oh,
But so Tom Evans looks like he had to drop out. Fueling became an issue through the night. Can't run this race on empty. Carnage did not stop there. Granger looked strong for more than 115K. Running in second, charging up the hill. Only 6 minutes behind Billiard. Blanchard, Aurelian, they both dropped.
And it was just like the whole race. Like there's dudes at like the 106K dropping.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's like that race just ate people's lunch off the rip all the way to the end. Like that race did not stop breaking off in people.
Sure does. Yeah, it does seem that way. And it's cool. This guy was leading for a while. This Arthur Joy Bullion.
Yeah.
And the commentators are like, "I love that last name." He's like, "You know what that means in French? It means hot broth."
That's so stupid.
Like, what?
It means hot broth. But,
they loved it. Anyway, so in a kind of a surprise win was this guy Vincent Bulliard, and he's from France, not sponsored. I guess he's a track and field guy. He works for Hoka. He's a shoe engineer. And he kind of just surprised everybody. But yeah. I guess the people that know him, it's not a surprise to them. But, like Ludo, there was an interview with Ludo. Dylan Bowman interviewed him. And he said, Ludo, I heard you train with Vincent Bulliard. And he goes, I don't train. He's like, that's not true. I don't train with him. He's way too fast for me.
Really?
Yeah. And that's Ludo.
Oh, wait, did I drop here? Oh, wait, we're coming back in.
Yeah, there it
goes.
Yeah, Ludo, who won Hard Rock, said that Vincent is too fast for him to train with. So
that's awesome.
Baptiste Chazan from France, second. So Vince Bulliard he got sub 20. Was that a course record? I can't remember.
For who? For this year?
Yeah.
No.
Okay. No, actually, I think the course record was Walmsley last year, right? Yeah. And Joaquin Lopez, from Ecuador, living in Spain, was third, 20 hours, 26 minutes. Hans Namberger of Germany, fourth, and Ludo came in fifth. Cool thing about Ludo is he's just such a fan favorite.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look at this video of him and look at his crew. They hold up these big Ludo heads. It's so awesome, man. They're at all the aid stations, holding up these big Ludo head cutouts.
That's awesome.
Yeah. He's just a cool dude, man. He's in his 40s and he's just out there crushing it. He's super humble, nice guy.
And then because you have that one about the interview too, right?
Yeah.
Where Ludo's being interviewed? Yeah,
that's the interview I was talking about where he was talking about Vincent Bulliard saying he was too fast. Yeah, right here. He says, I know you guys know each other, and I saw you guys did some training together and view him as somebody who could surprise. And for those of you who don't know Vincent, who is he and what makes him special? And Ludo said, so he's working for Hoka. He's really fast. He's really fit. You say that we have trained together, but it's not really true. He was a bit too fast, and we did the start together, and then that's it.
That's crazy.
Yeah. He has 100% success. And then Debo starts saying, in the U.S. we call that a bit of a dark horse, someone who performs really well and nobody's talking about.
Yeah.
So, so that was cool to see kind of an unknown. And then the first finisher for the U.S. is Cody Lind, who, by the way, in the men, Cody Lind is part of the Lind family from Western States that, his grandfather was the head medical guy. Used
really?
to shoot the shotgun for the race start, and now Cody Lynn's dad shoots the shotgun for the race start. So they're a big family. You know, I think Cody lives in Idaho maybe, but they're a big family at Western States that have, you know, been around that race for decades. So, so he got 7th. And let's see. Yeah, the U.S. men didn't really have a great showing at UTMB this year. Canyon Woodward, who won the 100-miler at Canyons this year, he got 20th in 23 hours, 26 minutes. So not a very good showing for the U.S. men this year.
Not the year.
Not in the UTMB anyway.
Yeah.
So the women, I would say, had a much better showing with Katie winning, and well, not really. Katie was the only. Oh, Sabrina Stanley got 7th. And
so,
our wild cards didn't do anything.
No.
Ludo got 5th. I had him in 3rd. That was probably the closest to anything.
So was there a little bit of controversy this year with the gear check?
So you might have saw that on the show notes. So apparently somebody had Ziploc. One of the leaders had like Ziploc bag for their. You know, there's required gear at UTMB, and part of it is you have to have, I think, 2 liters of water carrying capability, and they had like 2 bottles, which maybe equal 1 liter together. And then they had a gear check, and they didn't have any other water storage. But then he said, this 1 liter Ziploc bag is my other liter, and they let it go. So I don't know, like, you don't even have to have water in the extra thing, but you have to have the capability to carry it.
Yeah.
So I don't know. That might change. They let it go. That might change in the future. Who knows? Is that what you were talking about?
Yeah. Reddit post. Yeah. It's kind of interesting.
Yeah. And then there was this kind of cool Instagram post about all the Americans that shined at the different UTMB races. You got Hayden Hawks, Katie Scheid, Adam Peterman. And then at UTMB, Katie Scheid first, Sabrina Stanley 7th, Cody Lynn 7th for the men. And then at the CCC, Hayden Hawks first, Adam Peterman 3rd, Dakota Jones 9th. And for the women at CCC, Heather Jackson 5th, Lottie Brinks 9th, Emily Van Avis in 10th. Eli Hemming winning the OCC for the men, and Danny Moreno 7th at OCC. And then there's some other races that I'm not really. There's like a 15K and a 15K, and then TDS Jason Schlarb. Looks like he's rocking a mullet there.
Pretty strong one too.
I would have to say, dude, if you're running TDS, a mullet is fitting. Like, I love it. So anyways, that's pretty much UTMB. I mean, you know, there was some cool little side stories, but nothing like no major drama, I don't think, other than all the drops, I guess.
It is wild. Like this year, eight people alive, it sounds like. Yeah,
it does. And I will say this, okay, like I am not a big fan of the politics of UTMB. Like I don't like that Iron Man bought them out. I don't really care for the corporatization of it in that aspect. But I will say UTMB is just cool as hell, man. Like you have 2,500 runners running the 100-miler alone. And there was a shot, like Andrew Glaze, he takes all kinds of video.
Yeah.
And there was a shot of him at this aid station that was at the top of this huge climb, and it was nighttime. And he looked back, and you could see just hundreds of headlamps coming up that climb. And it just looks so cool.
Speaking of him, the post that he had where he is walking all wide-legged.
Oh, yeah, and you commented like, that's a wide stance, my man.
A wide stance, my guy. But like, yeah, he looked miserable. He looked like he had a rough. But I mean, shit, that's UTMB finish number 5 for him.
Wow.
Like, man. It is crazy. Like,
yeah.
So
that is crazy. Yeah, he's done a lot of 100-milers this year.
Yeah, he has.
A lot of like tough 100-milers too. Yeah, very impressive. And he's back at it though. I see he already got he's on vacation now with his wife over there and doing 10-mile run in the morning, 6-mile run in the afternoon. He's still doing his 100-mile weeks.
Got to shake out that lactic acid, baby.
Guess so. All right. So Charlotte, the costume chick, reached out.
Yeah.
There's a race in Florida, and I can't imagine doing a race in August in Florida.
Oh, fuck that shit. Look miserable.
I don't, from the picture here on the results page, it doesn't look like it's a trail. It looks like maybe a paved path. I don't know if it's paved the whole way, but
yeah, and it looks like you could roll a bowling ball down that thing, and it wouldn't. Like, you could just straight down it. Like, that thing looks flat and straight as all get out.
Yeah, I ran on a bike trail like this when my parents were down there for a month last winter, and I was just down there visiting them for a couple of days, and I was running this bike path like this, and it was humid, and I was just dying. But yeah, so it's an out and back. It's 46 miles. It starts in St. Petersburg, Florida, goes to Tarpon Springs, and then back to Dunedin. I used to have some aunts and uncles that are great aunts and uncles, and an uncle that lived in Dunedin, so we used to go down there when I was a kid. But it's a cool area and the golf there. 46-mile race, starts at 6:30 in the morning. And let's see, there was 149 finishers. Desi Wilson was first for the men and first overall in 6 hours, 21 minutes. Katie Hoover, first for the women, second overall, 6 hours, 28 minutes.
But, I mean, 6, am I tripping, or is that not a blazing fast time? Like 6:21 for a 50? Not even a 50 for a 46? Like, but I mean, I like Charlotte said, I think it got hot as fuck too, though.
Yeah, I think that adds an element.
Yeah.
Let's see. I'm gonna do this pace calculator here.
I have an app on my phone that's a pace calculator, and it is the greatest thing ever.
What was it? But 6:51.
6:21. 6:21. 6:21.50 for a 46 miler.
6:21.50, 46 miles. Oh, calculate. I got to reset it. Gosh dang it.
But
6 hours. 21.
But while he does that, I will say, looking at the picture for those that's not on our YouTube, it is dead straight. It looks like it's blacktop, and there is minimal shade.
Yeah, you're getting blasted, I'm sure.
You are catching hell. That thing just looks miserable. See, an 818, that doesn't, that's not, as flat as that is, right? I mean, you're essentially running on a track. You're running on an extra, but I think that heat and humidity must have just tore folks up.
Oh, I can't even imagine. And so Charlotte, the costume chick, she got DFL, but I think she was, it's a finish, congrats, Charlotte. It's awesome.
DFLs are sometimes really cool. Like a lot of times there's really dope ass awards given out for DFL too.
And I guess that, she did get a cool award. And I'll show a picture of it in a minute, but so the race has a different animal, as it's like they feature a different animal every year. And this year it was a possum. So for all of our possum listeners, and she dressed up like a possum, pretty elaborate costume. There's little baby possums hanging off the back.
So wait, a couple more there. That video you're on right now.
Yep.
Here's where I know she's an infinitely more patient person I am. That one that's bouncing on her right arm.
Yeah.
I would have had an absolute aneurysm with that thing bouncing on my arm. That would have drove me so effing nuts. I would have had to rip that thing off like 4 miles.
I would probably have an anxiety attack, or my OCD would kick in.
Yeah, man. Not to mention, like on the next video, she has the ones bouncing off her ass. It would have drove me nuts. I would have these got to go. These have got to go. I don't even like it when my water bottles bounce. Let alone, you know what I mean?
Totally.
I can't stand that shit. It's so funny. It's been a couple of months since we've talked about her and her costumes, but every time I see a post of hers, I think about it. I'm like, God damn, how does she stand that? So much more patient than I am.
Yeah, I agree. There's the DFL award. It's a nice plaque of a possum.
Yeah, it looks like it's on. Is that Slate? It looks like it's on Slate too, which is kind of cool.
It does. It looks pretty nice.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. But it is, like you said, she shared it with us. So it's kind of a cool thing that they do every year. Every year, this race will say, okay, we have this animal that lives around this trail. That will be the animal that's on our T-shirts.
Yeah.
So every year's a different T-shirt, a different animal gets sponsored. So it is kind of a cool thing.
That is pretty neat.
Good on the people who run it. It's funny. For the last 4 or 5 episodes you and I recorded, I've been like, ooh, maybe this race makes the a wish list. I can tell you, this race does not make the wish list. I would not. I think if you paid for me to enter this race and you paid for my transportation down there and my room and board, I still don't think I'd run that race. 46 miles. My fingers getting swollen just thinking about that humidity. That is absolutely insane.
It's not too desirable for me either. Yeah. But it's cool that it gives people down in Florida something to do.
Yeah, I love it.
Year. Remember all the Florida races we talked about in the winter? It was January. It was full on.
Yeah. So
I do want to give mention to this Stine Rex, and we've talked about her a few times. She's a great multi-day runner. She's from Denmark, and apparently she just set the new women's 6-day record, 567.6 miles in Denmark. On a 0.89 mile loop road course. As always, records are later ratified by organizations that wish to give them formal recognition. So, not all organizations will recognize it. But anyways, Davy Crockett from Ultra Running History has a breakdown of the women's 6-day record progression. And as we all know, Camille Herron had set it at that Lululemon event.
Yeah, she just
run
did that.
farther in March, and she had 560 miles. Stine Rex just did 567 miles. So And before Camille set that record in March, the last time it was set was in 1990. So it stood for 34 years and then gotten broken twice this year. So, oh, look at the 1876.
Oh, you talking about the from Toledo, Ohio?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Toledo.
Yeah.
I was born in Toledo.
Toledo, baby. Ohio been representing in ultra running world for a minute.
1876. Well, that if anybody follows the ultra running history podcast and Facebook page, you'll know that 6-day walking events were very popular back then.
Yeah.
Pedestrianism, it was called, and people would pack stadiums. They would make bets. It was like the sport in America.
Yeah.
Oddly enough. I've listened to a lot of those Davy Crockett podcasts on ultra running history. It is like fascinating. And some of the stories, like everybody's smoking cigars in these places. It's just filled with smoke, like just crazy shit going on. So congrats to Stine Rex. That's quite an accomplishment. Okay. Let's move on. Kilian. So Kilian was not at UTMB this year, but he was off doing some crazy ass shit, right?
Yeah.
So what Kilian did was he climbed all 82 peaks in the Alps that are over 4,000 meters. That's 13,123 feet. And he did it all by non-motorized power. So that means, he rode his bike in between to get to the different peaks to summit them. And he did it all in 19 days. And this is a total of 247,191 feet of climbing.
God.
So you're doing these summits. These are not like summits where a nice trail goes up to, right?
Yeah.
There's some video of him on this ridge, where he's got gloves on, and he's just it's
not even a ridge.
Nuts.
Like the one thing's not even a ridge. It was literally like a spine. Like it was literally a spine. Like he's holding on to it and shimmying across it. I was like, what the fuck?
Exactly.
Here's the other thing. Here's the other thing that's a weird thought, right? Is that thing that he is shimmying across, right? It has been there for hundreds of millions of years, right? What's to say that the extra little force that your hands are putting on it, that you're holding onto it, is not the last little bit that thing needed to snap off?
Oh, I know. I was thinking the same thing.
You fall backwards and dude, it's game. You are falling thousands of feet, tumbling down. It is just the stuff that he does as fun, as recreational, is batshit crazy.
Yeah, here's him on top of the Matterhorn, dude.
It all listen, I get it. This thing is super high, but it also it's August.
Yeah,
it's fucking August, and my dude is in a full-on puffer hood up, and still looking cold as hell. You know what I mean?
I guess he did get really good weather for these summits, because that can be one thing that could have been a deal breaker, is bad weather. So he got real lucky.
And it's really cool how his knowledge of that region is insane. Because he's like, oh yeah, I started over there, and the way he's able to still. Here's the other thing that's really kind of wild. His footprints aren't the first footprints.
Oh no.
Like
there's been other people
there's been
up
other
there.
Idiots up there.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like,
that's right.
every Kilian video I watch, just like, it's just another level of weird. Like, it's just like not weird, like wild.
Yeah, he's very smart, but like you said, there is definitely an element of risk involved.
Look at that! Look at that!
Yeah, just on some spine, like some ridge there's no trail. It's just rocks.
That's I mean, I guess, like, I was getting ready to say, how do you know what way to go? But I guess what other way would you go other than along that? Yeah, I mean, like, there is no other way to go.
Yeah. He had to pay close attention to navigation on that one.
So wild.
Yeah. So, anyways, he just did that beast mode, like, pretty impressive. There's all kinds of snow up on these super high peaks, and he had to use ropes at some point. Look at him with his ice axes, and look at that. Like, it just seems crazy dangerous.
It really, like, it's just another level of, like, it's just something I can't even fully comprehend.
Yeah. And by the way, he took one full rest day too. I read. Oh, here's that.
There it is. Like, this is it right here. That piece that he's holding on to right now is, like, right coming up. I mean, I mean, that piece could come loose.
There's cracks in those rocks. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's a fall that you're not coming back from.
And like, he's transitioning over to another facing way. But I mean, like, but if you look, like, where's his feet going? Where's his feet go on that? You know what I mean? Right. Like, it's so wild.
Yeah.
I'm like cram them into this little crack.
Yeah, this is a next level shit, man. I don't have any desire. I'll watch the videos. I'm good with that.
The videos are almost like, I mean, look at, like, this. I'm mesmerized by this one.
Jesus,
this
makes me just as nauseous as, like, free solo.
Yeah, it just doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, it's next level, that's for sure. Something that I will never do. Speaking of awesome ultra runners, Anton Krupicka just did an FKT. And when I first saw that he did the LA Freeway, I'm like, what? Like,
the fuck? Yeah, I know. I saw. Yeah, when I saw the show notes, I'm like, like.
Turns out it's a route in Colorado, 35 miles and 20,000 feet of climbing. It's 35 miles with 20,000 feet of climbing. Like, that's just unfathomable. You know, but he's really into that kind of rock climbing, scramble.
Yeah.
He's really into that kind of thing. So
we
he's
were
well
just talking
suited
about
for
him
this.
too. That's everything. We were just talking about him.
Yeah. And he did it unsupported, which 35 miles, I mean, yeah, you could do that unsupported. He did it like over 4 hours faster than the previous unsupported FKT. And actually, that's the fastest time by far out of all the FKTs on this route. Supported, self-supported, females, you know, that blows all of them away. Like, yeah, he did it in 13 hours and 20 minutes. So
if you look at him, that first photo, the very first photo on the stack that he put out, it looks like it chewed him up pretty good too. Like, he's got some cuts on the legs, and but the Instagram post he put out for this is
really
cool. It's a really cool Instagram post.
Yeah, here it is. Yeah, and you know what? On the FKT website, just to go back to that real quick, he has a great race. He's a really great writer, and he always has great race reports. So you can really see the very like detailed report of his day out there. It's pretty cool. It's a good read. I recommend everybody go to FKT website and find the LA Freeway FKT, and you can get it there. But yes, back to that Instagram post. Yeah, he definitely you could tell he was doing some climbing.
Yeah.
Just the pictures, it's very rugged terrain, very steep, but he does it all without, any ropes or anything like that. He's just, out there.
The other thing is
nature.
The other thing is what about this course that he ran, and he's talking about it on that post you're on. Like, think about all the trails that you and I run, right? And probably just in general, all of our listeners. The trail that he did this FKT on crosses no roads and only crosses 2 other trails. Like, that is nuts, dude. Like, at least you don't have to worry about getting lost, I guess.
Right. Well, it's in that, like, it's in that mountain, that very mountainous region there.
Yeah.
Where Long's Peak is, next to Boulder. So he lives in Boulder. So he's been wanting to do this route for a long time, I guess, according to his write-up. But
yeah.
But he probably knows these mountains pretty well. Long's Peak for sure. Okay, so there was another FKT, the Long Trail, which this runs north to south through Vermont. We looked at it pretty extensively before, because John Kelly set the FKT earlier this year, and it hasn't been ratified by the FKT website yet. But Will Peterson did it, and he's the first, and he did it supported, the Long Trail. And the stats on the Long Trail are 249 miles, 68,400 feet of climbing. And we all know this is Vermont. This is a very technical trail. Will Peterson is the first person to ever do it under 4 hours. Or, I'm sorry, under 4 days, not 4 hours. Woo! Anyways, 3 days, 21 hours, and 10 minutes. Will Peterson did that. John Kelly had the previous FKT 4 days, 4 hours, 25 minutes. That's supported. And Will Peterson also has the unsupported FKT on the Long Trail at 4 days and 11 hours and 34 minutes. String Bean has the self-supported FKT, Joe McConaughey, at 4 days and 23 hours, 54 minutes. Yeah, so it'll be posted soon, I'm sure, once it's ratified. But Will Peterson just crushed the Long Trail.
The cool thing is one of the first people to comment on his post.
Yep.
John Kelly.
That's right.
Super cool.
He said, rest up. I want to hear all about this.
Yeah.
John Kelly is just a cool dude, man. Like,
yeah.
He's somebody that would be cool just to hang out with and
pick
his brain. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's super smart too. He's he owns his own company, but like something with IT or something. But yeah, he's engineering. He's engineering, but he's extremely intelligent. Okay, congrats to Will Peterson. That's epic. Tara Dower is over the halfway point. I just saw that today. Of her FKT attempt on the Appalachian Trail. I'm not sure where I saw that. It was on Instagram somewhere. I don't know if it was on her page or this Chump Change FKT page, but she is over halfway, which means she should be catching Mike Wardian any day now, because
it feels like it.
The other day, Mike was at the halfway point, like a couple days ago, 2 days ago, maybe. And I guess at the halfway point, there is this challenge that some of the thru hikers do called the half gallon challenge at the halfway point, the half gallon challenge, where you have to eat a half gallon of ice cream. And, Mike Wardian is vegan, so he's got the oat milk ice cream brand, and he's got a soy one too, looks like. So he's got 4 pints, and 2 are the oat and 2 are the soy. Anyways, he does it live stream on Instagram, and I watched this video, and he does, like, you could tell on the 4th one he's just struggling hard, but he gets it done, and I'm sure it's much needed calories. He's done half of the Appalachian Trail.
So, all right. So 59 minutes ago, it looks like very recently, he just posted. Just while we're recording, he posted that his latest update. Highlights roller coaster Shenandoah. So he's around the Shenandoah, so he must be down.
He's in Virginia,
right? Yeah.
I think he just got to Virginia. And, he lives in Virginia, so he's got a lot of people coming out to support him.
Yeah. So he's, Springer Mountain, Georgia. He has 1,000 miles to go in one of his photos.
Yeah, Springer Mountain. Yeah, that's the finish. Like, he's got 1,000 miles to the finish.
So, he's in Shenandoah, Virginia right now. You know where he's at. He's really close to where you and I were talking about last week, around Woodstock, Virginia, and stuff like that. He's like right around. He's around Old Dominion, Grindstone, all that kind of bullshit.
That's
right.
So
that's where he's at. And so now that's where he is. And then Tara is where at now?
She just reached the halfway point, I think today or yesterday, but I'll check the Garmin tracker, which, like we talked about in the last episode, is not the best tracker.
Not super fire, but like
it's not fire. Like, I don't even know what's going on here, honestly. Like, it's showing her down here, and it's not connecting.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think she's about a day behind Mike, maybe 2 days.
Because she's also, I think she's still in PA, right? Like, she's still wrapping up PA. And then she's going to go PA, West Virginia, Virginia.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, PA, Maryland, West Virginia, Virginia. And so, but like the West Virginia is like a blink of an eye. It's not very much at all. And I don't even think Maryland's very much at all either.
The midway point of the Appalachian Trail, the halfway point, is in the Mitchell State Forest, Cumberland County, on South Mountain. It's in, you're right, Cumberland County, Pennsylvania.
Yeah. So she still has, I mean, like, it's hard to look at it as like, oh, she has these states to go, because it's not like she has very far. But yeah, I think she's a couple of days behind Mike. She's anywhere from a day to a couple of days behind Mike, because Mike is still knocking out 40, 50 miles a day. You know what I mean?
He's actually increased. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he was doing like 30 to 40 a day in the New England states. Yeah, but he has picked it up. Looks like he did a 50-some mile day.
And like you said, he's down in his neck of the woods now, so he'll probably, you know what I mean, like, he should be able to really start stacking some miles.
Yeah, for sure. She will catch him though. I think on average she's doing a lot more. She's going for the FKT.
Yeah.
it'll be cool to see when their paths finally do cross. They do know each other's out there, so
yeah. You know what? Since we've talked about Tara and we've talked about Mike on the AT, you know what we actually breezed by? I think we actually skipped over Temptations Ultras.
Oh, yes, we did. We were going to do the race results from that.
And so here's why I think they're kind of interesting. And like, we'll just give that race a quick shout out at first, like at minimum, is it's a race in central Illinois, right? Which let's be honest here, right? Ain't a whole lot going on in central Illinois. You know what I mean? That's pretty like outside of Chicago, right? Yeah, outside of Chicago, Illinois doesn't have a ton going for it. It's pretty remote, right? But this race is interesting in a sense that it's kilometers. Like it's it's a 50K, 100K, 150K, 200K.
That's right.
So it has 4 races to choose from, but they're all in increments of 50Ks.
Yeah, and you can actually decide during the race to do the longer distance. Like, so if you're signed up for the 100K and you're like, I think I'm going to go for the 150K, they're like, go ahead. But if you drop out like at 130K, you're DNF.
SOL. Yeah. What's funny is if I was doing a 50K, you could probably trick me into doing 100K.
Yeah.
You could probably trick me into doing 100K. If I'm doing 100K, there's little to no chance that you're like, hey, fuck it, what's another 50K? I'd be like, fuck all the way off. That's what another, you know what I mean?
That's like, that's where the breaking point is.
100Ks. I used to refer to 100Ks as the blue balls of ultra marathons because it is right there to as hard as it gets in the ultra world, but you don't get a buckle, right? Like there
some races do,
there are, but generally speaking, it is one of those weird distances that's right there, and like 100Ks are hard, like really hard, because you're going into the dark. But it's not quite into all of the pain cave. But you're for sure dipping your toes into it.
I totally agree. Like in 100-miler, I've always said the race really starts at like mile 50. Or you could say the same thing for 100. You know, it starts at 100K. That's when 100-miler starts, right? Because you're all the way deep in the pain cave by then, and you still have 40 miles to go.
Like I've definitely ran 100-milers. I've definitely 100. I've definitely ran 100-milers and been at like mile 20 and like, I'm kind of a little bit in a pain cave. But even then, you're just like, oh well, this is just what it is, and like you're like, oh, I'll just bebop to the next aid station, and like it kind of goes away. But once you get to the 100K kind of mark, generally speaking, you are not bebopping to the next aid station and pain's going away. It is there, and you're going to live in it for the next 40 miles.
That's right. And that's when the tiredness starts to set in.
Oh, man. Like, you start, like, hallucinations at night and shit. And, like, and so, like, anyways, it really cracks me up that there's some dumb son of a bitch that's probably been at the 150K mark. And like, screw it. What's another 20K or another 50K, right? It goes ahead and tries to knock out the 200K. So, I mean, 200K is 120 miles. 150K would be what? 90 miles, right? Yeah, 90 some odd miles. So, I mean, just hysterical.
And the race directors apparently tempt the runners to go to the next level, too.
That's so awesome. Yeah. That is so flipping awesome. This race is really funny.
And it's not like a 1 mile loop or anything like that. It's actual like I think it's like a 25K loop from my understanding.
The buckles look dope as shit too.
Yeah, the buckles are really cool. Let me go to that website. Grassroots. Oh yeah, there they are. The 100K buckle, the 150K, the 200K.
Dude, do me a favor. Let's see. We've been recording for 1:14. Do me and the folks watching on YouTube a favor that are still with us. Click on about the course and aid stations, and then click on course photos. Scroll to the bottom.
That's
that is a miserable ass woman right there. She look at that sand she is walking through.
Yeah, that's like on the edge of a field or something where the farmers have like a road that go, you know.
And so is that? But dude, that's sand.
It does look
that
like
is
sand.
Doesn't it? Like I'm like 99%.
She's wearing sandals too.
Oh my God, she is. But I mean, on the same note, looking at this, doesn't look like you're gonna kick a root. It looks like you're just on those.
It's just a two-track road through a forest.
Oh, the trail is soft on account of the sandy soil in the area.
Ah, there it is.
Some of the trail is suitable for running, and other portions are so soft they require walking for all but the most elite ultra runners.
I don't like sand.
No. The trail is hard. This is not a rail trail or perfectly groomed path in the woods. This is a trail for athletes who know how to push their physical and mental limits when the grind gets going tough. Blah blah blah. Whatever. Dude, this thing looks fucking miserable.
Yeah, it does. It sure does. All right, let's see who finished.
Yeah.
For the 50K, Jacob Albert, 4 hours, 8 minutes overall, and first place male, and Emily Shearer, first place female, in 8 hours, 57 minutes. 8 hours, 57 minutes.
That's for the 50K, I'm assuming, right? Yeah.
16 people finished the 50K.
Oh, all right. So 16. I'm dying to know this number get higher or lower.
100K, Danielle Fowler, first place overall, first place female, 13 hours, 23 minutes.
Is that her husband, Mark Fowler, then?
That's Mark Fensler.
Oh, my dumb blind eyes.
Mark Fensler, first place male, second overall, 13 hours, 52 minutes. So
6 finishers? Oh, okay, good stuff. Okay.
Actually, there's 24 finishers.
Okay. So we went up, we quadrupled, right? No, wait, what was the first one?
16.
16. All right, 16 to 24. What's our 150?
150, 3 finishers. Yeah.
Oh my God.
And they're all men. Chad McDonald was first, 26 hours, 53 minutes. Oh my
God, 26 hours.
Well, 150K, that's like what, 80 some miles or something?
No, 90. It's like 90 some.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, look at the third place, 35 hours.
93 miles, actually.
Yeah, 35 hours for 93 miles.
Oof.
Oh my God.
No.
Oh.
I'm not tempted to do the temptation.
But here's the thing, man. Like, it's like that loose sand, and by the way, dude, Illinois, middle of Illinois in August, that thing was
humid.
Just humid as all get out.
Gross.
All right, here we go. What's our? How many?
200 kilometers.
But look at their times.
2 finishers.
That first place 200 kilometer almost caught third place 150 kilometer.
Yep. And it was first place female, first place overall.
Overall.
And overall winner is Shannon Mick, 38 hours, 37 minutes. And Rob Judd was the only other finisher, and he was first for the men, 39 hours, 23 minutes.
120 miles. 120 miles, 38 hours in that loose sand. That's
annoying as
yeah, dude. That is damn, that race looks miserable as fuck. I'm glad we went back and talked about this race.
There's another one, and I'm not, like I said, I'm not tempted to do the Temptation.
No.
I'm not tempted to do the Pinellas 46 miler either. All right. Well, it's good. We already have a lot of stuff on our bucket list. So.
Yeah. My bucket list can only get so much.
All right. Well, we are definitely over time, but another fun episode. Hope everybody out there is enjoying listening to the podcast or watching the YouTube video, whatever platform you're on. Reach out to us on the socials. All the links to our socials are on the show notes for the podcast and on the show notes for the YouTube channel as well. So you can look us up that way. Give us a comment, maybe yell at us for something we got wrong, or any sort of information is welcome.
Give us hell.
Yeah. You have anything else, Johnny?
I don't. I appreciate everybody, and we'll see you next week.
All right. Maybe I'll take us out with some different music. Yeah. I can't remember what the other, like the chill one was. Let me see. No, not that one.
That's Night Rider.
This one. This way to go out.
There you go.
All right, everyone. We'll see you on the next one.